Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. Foxconn is the world's largest electronics foundry, undertaking most of Apple's iPhone orders. In addition, Foxconn also originally produced smartphones for Huawei and is an important OEM customer of Huawei. However, Foxconn and Huawei have already parted ways. Foxconn left resolutely when Huawei was suppressed. Fortunately, BYD has cooperated with Huawei to replace Foxconn and win all orders from Huawei. BYD takes over orders from Huawei. As the world's leading telecommunications equipment manufacturer and smartphone brand, Huawei's mobile phone business has great influence. At its peak, Huawei was one of the brands with the largest market share in the global smartphone market. According to data from international market research company Counterpoint, Huawei surpassed Samsung in the third quarter of 2020 and became the world's largest smartphone shipment brand. With such influence in the mobile phone business, any supplier that can enter Huawei's supply system will bring huge cooperation benefits. However, due to the suppression by the United States, Huawei's mobile phone market share continued to decline, and various software and hardware technologies were restricted. At a critical moment, Foxconn parted ways with Huawei and no longer accepted Huawei mobile phone OEM orders. Huawei has a lot of self-research results, but it is impossible to manufacture mobile phones by itself. BYD has made great contributions in mobile phone OEM. Many people only know that BYD makes cars, but they don't know that BYD is already the world's top comprehensive technology giant. BYD was founded in 1995 as a battery manufacturer. Over time, BYD gradually expanded its business scope and became a comprehensive enterprise with an important position in the fields of new energy vehicles, batteries, electronics, and new energy solutions. BYD has been deeply involved in the foundry business for many years and has grown into the world's second-largest foundry after Foxconn. Now that Foxconn is gone, BYD itself has a long-term cooperative relationship with Huawei and will naturally take over all Huawei's orders. The cooperation between Huawei and BYD is a win-win situation. Huawei solves the mobile phone OEM problem, and BYD gains market share. The two parties have joined forces to continue to contribute to the development of the domestic supply chain. Huawei drives the continuous upgrading of the domestic industrial chain. Huawei's mobile phone business has been dormant for many years and has been excluded from the overseas supply chain system by the United States. Many parts containing American technology are no longer used. Unless foreign suppliers obtain a license, they cannot cooperate with Huawei. But from another perspective, this is actually a major opportunity for the development of the domestic industrial chain. Huawei has switched its supply system to China. It chooses to purchase large and small components domestically, and uses investment to support the growth of some domestic manufacturers. While they develop and progress, they also bring more diversified and independent choices to Huawei. Huawei is driving the continuous upgrading of the domestic industry chain. Take the Mate 60 Pro as an example. The localization rate of this mobile phone has reached 90%. It does not use any American chips and almost all are made by domestic suppliers. For example, screens, structural parts, optical lenses, functional chip modules, etc. all come from China. Not only that, the core mobile SoC chip Kirin 9000S is also made in mainland China. The launch of Huawei's Mate 60 series of mobile phones is not only the launch of a mobile phone, but also symbolizes the highest technological integration in the domestic industrial chain, and represents that China has made an important breakthrough in autonomy. Huawei has established close cooperative relationships with many domestic suppliers to jointly promote the upgrading and optimization of the supply chain. This not only improves the technical level and product quality of domestic suppliers, but also enhances the competitiveness of the entire domestic industrial chain. You must know that Huawei has strict quality and technical requirements for suppliers, prompting suppliers to improve their production processes and product quality, making domestic suppliers more competitive in the global market. Since China can help Apple build high-end iPhones, it can also help Huawei overcome difficulties with its domestic supply system. Huawei and its partners grow with each other and achieve win-win results. Does Foxconn regret it? Huawei's mobile phone business has come back and is regaining its vitality. Huawei launched the new Mate 60 Pro model at the end of August, and the rest of the series of models are also on sale. Judging from the enthusiasm of consumers to buy, the Mate 60 series will be Huawei's turnaround, returning to the domestic and even global market stages, and increasing its market share. Apple's many years of good times are probably coming to an end. Does Foxconn regret Huawei's development? Foxconn chose Apple between Huawei and Apple. In order to manufacture for Apple, Foxconn went to India to invest and build factories. It set up iPhone OEM factories for Apple and made more Apple consumer electronics products in India. But the situation of manufacturing in India is hard to explain. An overseas blogger broke the news that one-half of the iPhone 15 series phones made in India have been returned because quality issues have caused dissatisfaction among consumers. Foxconn's success in mainland China is due to the support of the mainland's rich supply system. However, it is not easy for Foxconn to copy China's successful experience to India. The comprehensive quality of local workers in India is average, and India's transportation hub infrastructure is also imperfect. These problems have restricted the development space of manufacturing in India. If Foxconn wants to succeed through manufacturing in India, it still needs time to accumulate. Prior to this, Huawei had returned to the Chinese market, but this time it was mainland suppliers represented by BYD that soared. Everyone sees the popularity of the Mate 60 series of mobile phones. BYD chose to cooperate with Huawei, and Foxconn chose Apple. Time has proven that Huawei lives up to expectations.